have with us today Shri Amish Tripathi ji, Minister Education and Culture, Indian High Commission, London, and India's greatest mythological fiction author. We are indeed privileged to have a persona of such stature in our midst.
A very warm welcome to all the eminent dignitaries present here. Our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, sir, and chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, ma'am, have envisioned every Amitian as a global citizen who will sculpt a better tomorrow. To further the cause, an initiative, Talk with Diplomats, was launched last year under the aegis of Amity Educational Resource Center to provide global exposure, build a holistic perspective towards international affairs, and nurture leadership qualities among students.
Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhana sampada, shatru buddhi vinashaya, deepajyoti namostate. May the lamp usher in all that is auspicious and bless us with good health and prosperity. I would now like to invite all the dignitaries for the lamp lighting ceremony to invoke blessings of the Almighty.
Our principal, Mrs. Divya Bhatia, ma'am, under the guiding light of our dear chairperson, ma'am, is spearheading Amity Saket with commitment, perseverance, and dedication. I would request, ma'am, to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much, Swayam and Rabia. A warm good evening and namaste to all. Today is indeed a landmark day for all our young Amitians who will have the privilege and the opportunity to interact with the protagonist of modern Indian mythology, Mr. Amish Tripathi ji, author, diplomat, director at Nehru Center, Minister Education and Culture, Indian High Commission, London, for our program, Talk with Diplomats. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time. On behalf of all of us, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, who strongly believes in the Vedic saying, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. A true woman of substance, ma'am has nurtured her Amitians like a mother with the foresight of a true mentor. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being the wind behind our wings. Being the principal of the flagship Amity School, Amity International School, Saket, it is my humble privilege to welcome Shri Amish Tripathi ji. A warm welcome to all the Amity principals, faculty, students, all our special advisors who eagerly await to hear from their favorite author. It is under the iconic vision and foresight of our respected chairperson that Amity Education and Resource Center was established in 2004 to provide a gateway to the world. Today, Amity has educational collaboration with 30 countries across the world. Our USP, the Amity International Model United Nations, witnesses a conglomeration of nearly 400 students from across the globe every year. Our students participate in MUNs all over the world. In the recently conducted Oxford MUN, there we won numerous accolades and a high commendation award for Samaya Chauhan. Congratulations all at Amity. We also had the privilege to meet you, sir, and the High Commissioner of India to the United Kingdoms, Shri Vikram Doraiswamy. It was an added pleasure to discover that sir's mother, Mrs. Chitra Doraiswamy, was a founder teacher at our very own Amity Saket. What a small world this is. Amish ji, our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and our chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, established Amity International School, Saket, in 1991. And the flight of 32 years has seen numerous schools across the country and the world, namely Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, South Africa, and the Netherlands. Our chairperson, a Sanskrit scholar herself, is a firm believer in instilling sanskars in her Amitians, and a lot of emphasis is given to Sanskrit as a language, with the children learning shlokas from the pre-primary sections itself. Sanskrit is not just a language, it is a way of life at Amity. From weekly havans to Olympiads, to competitions, to celebrating Sanskrit Divas, learning shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, to even our AIMUN taglines are based on Sanskrit shlokas. In the field of science, Amity students have numerous copyrights and patents to their names. In fact, Amity Saket alone has filed 5 patents and 10 copyrights already. Amitians are all set to realize our Honorable Prime Minister's dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. In sports, we boast of the youngest Arjuna awardee and Grandmaster, Mr. Parimarjan Negi, who at present is studying at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Sports, music, art, our children are making their mark everywhere. And we have secured admission in prestigious colleges both in India and abroad. In fact, it was a delight to meet our alumni and connect with them both in Oxford and in Cambridge. To keep the Amitians connected to the community, our chairperson is educating over 1,000 underprivileged girls and boys in our special schools, Amitasha for girls and Atulasha for boys, which run in after school hours in our own campuses. Taking a leaf from your writing, I would like to mention that our children are prolific writers themselves and have already authored books to their names. We owe this to the Global Times, which is one of the, I don't think any other school has this, but Amity as an institution has a registered weekly newspaper that circulates 40,000 copies every week. This has been envisioned by our chairperson for the children, by the children, and of the children to imbibe journalistic talent among her Amitians. At Amity Saket, we have our own book club, where over the last few weeks, we've been discussing your books, and we will have a small showcase of a little clip of what they've discussed. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. And I request your attention to the screen where we showcase some glimpses of how Amity celebrates Sanskrit and how the Amity Saket Book Club celebrates your books, Amishji. Thank you very much. A warm welcome, everyone.
Very good, Divya.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
good. Very
Oh, hi! Welcome to our book club. Today, we are bringing out the uniqueness of the mythology told by Mr. Amish Tripathi ji.
But what's so unique about his books? These books are bringing out the 1800 BC Indian mythology into the modern light.
Amish Tripathi ji has retold the Indian mythologies that we have known for centuries in a way that's very interesting to the young readers.
So, what I find really interesting about Amish ji's books is how he has beautifully blended elements of mythology with Indian realism, like showing Mithila as such a sophisticated and architecturally wondrous city, right?
Now, contrary to popular belief, Sita in his book Scion of Ikshvaku, my personal favorite, was portrayed as an empowered woman who demanded justice for the commoners. Tell me, can anyone do that better than Amish ji?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, very good, very good.
Thank you.
Rabia?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It is a proud moment indeed to welcome Shri Amish Tripathi ji. We request respected chairperson, ma'am, to kindly felicitate sir with a virtual Tulsi plant. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Very
Our
good.
esteemed chairperson, ma'am, is a
Welcome, Amish ji. Welcome, Amish ji.
Thank you, Dr. Amita ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Our esteemed chairperson, ma'am, is a pioneer in the field of education and a visionary to the core. She is a mother to each Amitian and an embodiment of selfless devotion who has urged this generation to rise above their individual needs, serve humanity, and become success-driven achievers. May we request you to kindly accept a green token of our love and appreciation. We request ma'am to share her pearls of wisdom with us.
Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for thinking about me also. Speak.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
When Amish ji is in front of me, from front of us, so what can I do? I'm just thinking. All my principals, my advisors, and very honorable chief guest of the day, we are so honored. We are so happy that Amish ji is amongst us today. So it is a happy moment. Amish ji, aapko nahi pata ki we are so happy to have you and we'll listen to you. So
Thank you.
we want to hear from you, and children must be having so many questions. So I don't want to say too much. So I just want to say, संकल्प और साहस से कुछ बड़ा नहीं, जो वही हारा जो लड़ा नहीं. This I want to say. We want to thank Amish ji, not only on behalf of Amity, I think so on behalf of पूरे India, Hindustan के लिए, क्योंकि when I came here in 1991, my dear children, I want to say, यहाँ पर तो बहुत कम लोगों को Indian mythology के बारे में पता ही नहीं था बहुतों को. तो पर कहते हैं Amish ji did a great thing for the country India. He's bringing mythology, the stories to the young minds, to the youngsters. आपके लिए बहुत बड़ी ताली बजाना चाहती हूँ Amish ji मैं इस बात के लिए. तो मैं बताऊं कि जब मैं 91 में आई तो मैं सोचती थी इंडिया का क्या होगा. But now I've become so confident. Our children, our Amitians will make India a developed country. Amish ji कहते हैं कि ये बच्चों में इतने संस्कार हैं, इतने values हैं. They love their country. They want to understand about their country. They learn heritage. They learn the Sanskrit language because, for me, it was the reason. Sanskrit जानेंगे तो they will know their culture. हाँ कहते हैं जो आपका था ना, कहते हैं कि ये जो tagline, in every MUN we gave a different tagline. अभी तो था लास्ट ईयर लोकः समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु. आपको ऐसे किसी भी कल्चर में नहीं मिलेगा, किसी भी कल्चर में. और एक था आत्मदीपो भाव. फिर हमने लगा सर संभवते त्वयि, you can do whatever you want to do. That these things we are bringing to India. तो अमीर जी कहते हैं मैं आपको थोड़ा सा ये बताना चाहती हूँ. We have got around 12 global campuses of Amity. Amity is not just schools. Amity is a very big platform. So we have got 12 global campuses, we have got 11 universities, and we have got 28 schools, preschools. We have got competitive examination where we train our children for all the competition what is happening in India. So Amit is very big. Hamara kitna lakhon we have got the alumni. They are all over the world. They are studying in top colleges, and the children are working in the top companies and universities. So this is Amity. We started in 1991 with a small campus. Abhi jo principal Mrs. Divya Bhatia, she was speaking. She was from this campus only, Saket. From this campus, 1991 to we have become so vast, so big. बच्चे ऐसे नहीं बनता है. For that you have to be focused, dedicated. You have to work very hard. क्योंकि हम बच्चों को सिखाते हैं कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. पैरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती. तो ये we want to teach this thing. कहते हैं कि आपका असफलता एक चुनौती है, उसे स्वीकार करो. तुम कुछ कमी रह गई है, स्वीकार करो. तुम जब तक सफल ना हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो. तुम कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती, कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती. देखिए ना, हम कहती हूँ ना, तो अमीश जी जय जयकार इसलिए नहीं कहते. ही इज अमीश जी, ही इज अ डिप्लोमेट, ही इज अ मिनिस्टर ऑफ कल्चर एंड एजुकेशन. ये बुक लिखी है ना, ही हैज डन सो डिफरेंटली. तो इसलिए अमीश जी की जय जयकार है. इसलिए हम अमीश जी का इतना ऑनर और रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं, माय डियर चिल्ड्रन, है ना. तो दैट इज सक्सेस. मेक यू पीपल रिकॉग्नाइज व्हेन यू आर सक्सेसफुल. सो अमीश जी, मैं ज्यादा बीच में नहीं आना चाहती हूँ. कहते हैं आई थिंक सो एक लास्ट और बोलूंगी कि बच्चों, बिकॉज देयर इज अ यंगस्टर, देयर आर सो मेनी ऑथर्स सिटिंग हियर. कहते हैं अमित जी, देयर आर सो मेनी ऑथर्स सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. तो आपने एक राइटिंग लैब बनाया है, एज आई हर्ड. आई डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली, जब आप बताएंगे तो अपने यू टेल अस अबाउट योर राइटिंग लैब. और हम उस राइटिंग लैब में हमारे बच्चे आपके साथ कैसे एसोसिएट हो सकते हैं. बिकॉज वी लुक ऑलवेज द प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर द चिल्ड्रन वेयर दे कैन बी एसोसिएटेड, बिकॉज दे आर वेरी ब्राइट, they are very focused, they are very exposed to different platforms. कहते हैं अपना मिसेस दिव्या told you about the 5 patents. मेरे बच्चों ने 40 पेटेंट किए हुए हैं स्कूल लेवल पे. they have done 40 patents, 20 copyrights. अभी तो recent में they are writing in famous journals, popular journals. they are writing the research paper. तो these are my Amitians. तो आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा इनके साथ बात करने में. ये भी, इनको भी बहुत मजा आएगा, आपको भी बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. तो इसी के साथ मैं बहुत आपका I want to thank you in bottom of my heart that you are giving the time to my very I always say best Amitians. They are the best. So इसी के साथ thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words encapsulated by your words will always be a beacon light. Jyoti Arora ma'am, Director ARC, has been working ceaselessly towards fulfilling our chairperson ma'am's dreams in shaping the future of today's youth. She leads international and educational initiatives and student exchange programs and has developed partnerships with multifold countries and top universities, schools, and international organizations around the world. I would now request ma'am to please introduce our chief guest for today.
Thank you so much. Namaste. What better way to kickstart the new year than this intellectually stimulating talk? Welcome to our show, Talk with Diplomats, envisioned by a chairperson, ma'am. On this show, we will meet and interact with real and outstanding diplomats to build not only leadership skills, but also to build bridges between Amity and the rest of the world. The seeds of this talk were sown a few months ago. On 15th November 2022, 12 Amitians who participated in Oxford MUN conference visited the High Commission in London and met and interacted with His Excellency Vikram Doraiswamy and Mr. Amish Tripathi ji. Amish ji is a man who wears many hats. He is India's literary pop star, an author with mass connect across all age groups, and one who can speak and write on multiple issues such as religion, philosophy, history, civilization, etc. He is an articulate speaker, philosopher, singer, and a globe-trotter. He is deeply rooted in Indian culture, yet has a liberal and progressive outlook. Amishji is also the presenter of BBC documentary Legends of Ramayana, which I've just finished watching. What a remarkable experience of traversing 5,000 kilometers on the footsteps of Ramji. Amishi published his first book in 2010 and has written 11 books. His books have sold 6.5 million copies and have been translated in 20 languages. Something which I found fascinating is that he wrote his first book during his daily commute to and from work in the backseat of his car over a period of 5 years. The Week magazine acknowledged Amishji as the fastest selling author in Indian publishing history. Forbes India has regularly ranked him among the top 100 most influential celebrities in India. BBC called him India's Tolkien. Amishji was also selected as an Eisenhower Fellow, a prestigious American program for outstanding leaders from around the world in 2014. He won the 21st Century Icon Award in the UK in 2021 and the Golden Book Award for his novel Suhail Dev in 2022. Besides being a literary genius, Amishji is also a diplomat. He has taken over as the Minister, Culture and Education at the High Commission of India in the UK and the Director of the Nehru Centre, London, in October 2019. Amishji is an alumnus of the prestigious Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, and was a banker before he became an author. We are indeed so happy that Amishji is here today with us to share his thoughts, experiences, and give us a new insight into the vibrant and amazing Indian culture. We also look forward to future partnerships with the Nehru Centre in London as well. Thank you so much. Over to you, dear compares.
Yeah, Jyoti, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
शिव भक्त हैं, बहुत बड़े शिव भक्त हैं.
बहुत बड़े शिव भक्त हैं. हाँ जी मैम. उन्हीं की blessings है.
We are extremely delighted to have Shri Amish Tripathi ji amidst us. I would now like to invite Sir to enlighten the eager audience with his invaluable insights.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jyoti ji. Thank you, Dr. Amita ji, for your very kind words. I thought I'll make some brief remarks on India's position in the world and where what the opportunities are for all of you students from India. And then I'll be very happy to make it interactive and receive questions from all of you as well and answer that. India as a country, if you see the land of the Indian subcontinent, for actually all of the first millennium of the Common Era, that is from 0 AD to 1000 AD, right? India contributed around 30 to 35% of the world's GDP. We were by far the richest land on earth. Even today, the US, which is the richest country in the world today, contributes between 16 to 18% of the world's GDP. So India was relatively richer to the world than the US is today. We were that powerful. And we had a bad period the last 1,000 years. From 1100 Common Era to around 1700, there was a slow decline. From 1700 onwards, there was a very rapid decline. But many of you, I'm sitting in London right now. I'm sure many of you would have read that news, right? That this year, India's GDP crossed that of our former colonial master, the UK. You guys aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it crossed It crossed the GDP of the UK. UK's GDP is around $3.2 trillion, 3.1 trillion, around 3.3, 3.4. And we are still the fastest growing major economy in the world. So we will pull ahead a lot more. Guess when was the last time India's GDP was greater than that of the UK? If anyone wants to just, unmute and just answer. When was the last time India's GDP was greater than that of the UK? Anyone wants to take a guess?
Can anybody?
So maybe before the colonial period.
No, in fact, actually, even through the colonial period. So just around 150 years ago, right? Around 150 years ago, our GDP was greater than that of the UK. So during Queen Victoria's reign, early part, right? What we lost over 150 years, we've recovered actually post 1991. Because post 1947, our economic decline continued, actually. The lowest point in human history for India's economy was actually the late 1980s. So 1991 onwards, we started getting back. So what we lost over 150 years, we've made up just in the last 30 years. And most economists will tell you that on a purchasing power parity basis, every Indian's per capita income will become greater than every European's per capita income in the next 25, 30 years. Okay, on a purchasing power parity basis. Matlab, every Indian will be individually richer than every European in the next 25, 30 years. When was the last time that happened? Anyone wants to take a guess? When every individual Indian was richer than every individual European on average. When was the last time that happened?
Oh. Again, children, guess. Yes, you can.
Anyone wants to take a guess?
May
How
I
long
answer?
back?
Maybe
Yeah,
wrong.
go ahead. Amol,
Yes,
right?
yes, please answer.
Yes,
Please
sir.
answer.
Go ahead.
Sir, I think that the last time that in one individual of India was richer than a European was like before, during the period of the kingdoms in India, like the Vijayanagara Empire or the Empire of Punjab.
Yeah. Amog, Vijayanagar Empire was around 1300 to 1500 Common Era. Actually, it was 900 years ago, around 1050 or 1100. So even earlier, that every individual Indian was richer than every individual European. That was nearly 1,000 years ago, right? So what we lost over 1,000 years, we will make up just in the next 25. The key thing is when we Indians get our act together, we move surprisingly fast. We are like an elephant, right? When we are not moving, But when we start moving, we shake the entire world, right?
Yes, that we are going
Very
to
true.
do.
Yeah, certainly we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yes.
And with students like this, we'll certainly do it.
Yes.
The key thing about India that we have to remember is that we'll have to work hard to achieve these aims over the next 25 years. But the key thing that we should bear in mind is that when we become among the most powerful nations on earth, what kind of a superpower will we be? And that's the kind of conversation we should have. Today, we are the 5th largest economy in the world. Within the next 4 or 5 years, we'll become the 3rd largest economy in the world. We'll be among the top powers in the world very soon. The conversation all of us need to have is that when we become such a powerful country, will we become a carbon copy of the invaders who oppressed us? Or will we be like how our ancestors expected us to be? Will we be a superpower, oppressing other countries to get what we want? Or will we be a Vishwa Guru, which tries to help other countries, but protects ourselves as well? These are the kind of conversations we need to start having among ourselves because we will be facing these issues. Among the things I'm very proud of, all of you know that when the COVID pandemic happened, vaccines saved most people, right? And I'm sure you're aware that most of the vaccines that Indians used, we did over 2 billion injections. We vaccinated over 1.1 billion Indians. You know, most of the vaccines were made in India, manufactured in India. All of you students know that? Yeah?
Yes.
So,
unmute yourself and be interactive, children.
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So we were among the few countries that could manufacture at this scale, right?
Yes.
Only a few countries could manufacture vaccines. A few Western countries, China, Russia, India, no one else, right? But when this pandemic hit, do you know that Africa was not getting any vaccines? All of you know that?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
And do you know that the West, the Western countries, which speak about human rights and values and give lectures to everyone, do you know that the West had large numbers of extra vaccines, but they refused to give them to African countries? Because the West said that in case a pandemic comes back to the West, they will need the vaccines for themselves. So Western countries actually allowed those vaccines to expire in their own countries, UK, US, Canada, all of them. But they did not give them as charity to Africa. Where did Africa get its vaccines from? Anyone wants to take a guess?
India.
From India. Okay. That shows the kind of country we are, and that's a country I am proud of. That yes, we are strong and capable. We will take care of ourselves, but we will not be selfish like the colonial rulers were. Or frankly, many modern Western countries are who talk a good game. Many modern Western countries will give bhashans to everyone, but when push comes to shove, they don't help the poor countries. They will allow the vaccines to expire in their own countries, but keep it as backup just in case the pandemic returns. But they will not help poor countries. Those poor countries look to India, and India helped them. Right? That's a kind of country we are powerful. I'm proud of that. We are a strong, capable country, but we will help others as well. This is the value of our ancestors. What Dr. Amitaji spoke of, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is a line that comes down to us from our ancestors, that the whole world is one family. And if India is the Vishwaguru of that family, then we should look out for the others. Paripale Durbalam, we must protect the weak. That's one value that I like from our ancestors that we must try and imbibe and propagate in today's world. The second value I'd like to imbibe and speak of. Everyone knows of Mahatma Gandhi's approach to the freedom struggle and the belief that that non-violence, ahimsa paramo dharma, that non-violence is a good attitude to have. Does anyone know that there's another line associated with that ahimsa paramo dharma as well? A line which comes usually after that, ahimsa paramo dharma. Then after that, there's another Sanskrit line. Does anyone know what line it is? Take a guess if anyone knows. There's a line called dharma hinsa tathaiv cha. Does anyone knows what that translates as?
Can anybody say?
Dharma. Okay, I noticed Siddhi has typed that. Dharma hinsa tathaiv cha. Very good, Siddhi. Siddhi, do you want to unmute yourself and translate that? What does that mean? Dharma hinsa tathaiv cha.
Where is Siddhi?
Okay, I guess I can't hear from Siddhi, so let me translate. It means violence in the protection of dharma is valid. So ahimsa paramo dharma, that non-violence is the greatest dharma. But dharma hinsa tathaiv cha, that violence in the protection of dharma is valid. Dharma does not translate as religion. Dharma translates as that which is balanced, that which is good. Right? So what does that mean? What did our ancestors believe? We had the oldest pacifist traditions in the world. Jainism, which is the oldest pacifist religion in the world, is an Indian religion. Right? But what our ancestors also believed is that we will not send armies to conquer other lands. India very rarely sent armies outside of the Indian subcontinent. But if someone attacks us, we will fight back. If someone slaps us, we will not hit the other cheek. We will not turn the other cheek. If you slap us, we will box you back. We will not make the first blow. But if you hit us, we will hit back. This was the attitude our ancestors had. And there's a value to that strength. Because if you think about it, we're the only pre-Bronze Age culture that is still alive. Every other pre-Bronze Age culture is dead. They are museum pieces. Egypt, Pharaonic Egypt, Mesopotamian, Gilgamesh, Mesopotamia, they're all dead. There can be many reasons and analyses for why India survived. I believe one of the reasons was that when the same invaders went to ancient Persia, to ancient Egypt, to ancient Mesopotamia, those people, those cultures, great cultures, beyond a point, they surrendered. But our ancestors refused to surrender. They kept fighting, right? And this is something that even modern neighbors of India need to learn. I'm a diplomat, so I will not name that country, but we all know that country. There's a certain communist country to our north, which thought they could invade us. And our Bihar regiment and Sikh regiment and Rajputana regiment taught them a lesson that they will remember, right? We will not hit first. We will not try and conquer other lands. But if you attack us, we will hit back, and we will hit back hard. And this is a philosophy our ancestors had. And I think it's a good philosophy because it ensures that we can protect that which is precious. So those of us who are normal citizens, for us, the philosophy is ahimsa paramo dharma. We have no right to take recourse to violence. We are ordinary citizens. If we have a problem, we can protest, we can file petitions, we can file a court case, we can vote. That is the right thing for us to do. But our soldiers on the border or our police forces who are protecting us, it is their dharma to do violence to protect us. And them we must support when they do what they have to do to protect our country. That is dharma hinsa tathaiva. So this is a second philosophy that from our ancestors that I think we should learn. The third philosophy that I think we should learn from our ancestors, there's this lovely line, Ano Badraha Kritvo Yantu Vishwataha, that let noble thoughts come to me from all directions. I'm a very, very proud Indian. There's a lot that we can learn from India. But among the things I find which is troubling in modern India is those who believe that, of course, India is great, but we're the only country that is great. There's nothing to learn from others. That is a very negative philosophy. There are good things to learn from all countries. Goddess Saraswati can, of course, bless us Indians, but Goddess Saraswati can bless non-Indians also. Why not? Right? And if she has blessed non-Indians, it is in our selfish interest to learn from them. Right? So if I'm living in London, there are many non-Indians I meet out here who are very smart, who are very talented. And I should not have a false pride that I'm an Indian. There's nothing I can learn from a British person or nothing I can learn from a Caribbean or an African or a Chinese or an American. Why? And if he's smart, I don't care what his background is. Goddess Saraswati is blessed him or her. I should learn from them. It's in my selfish interest. And this was a very lovely philosophy that our ancestors had. They were willing to learn from everyone. Because if you have false pride, you stop learning. You stop learning, you stop growing. You stop growing, you're going to die sometime or the other. That's a good philosophy we must learn even when we become powerful and rich. You must keep learning from everyone, right? All the time. Every person you meet has something to teach you. And the last thing I'd like to say, which I think we can learn from our ancestors, it's only when you travel abroad, I'm sure, you're all from Amity schools. Many of you would have traveled abroad. How many of you have gone to Southeast Asia and seen that you can find murtis of Lord Ganesh or Lord Kuber or the Shivling out there? Anyone has seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll see that in Southeast Asia.
Yes. Sir.
How did our culture go to Southeast Asia? We never conquered them. We never sent armies out there. How did you notice Indonesian names sound like Indian names? They're Muslims. 98% of Indonesians are Muslims. But the names sound like Indian names. Sukarno, Putri, Sita, they sound like Indian names.
The airlines is Garuda. The airlines is Garuda.
Airline is Garuda. The Indonesian rupiah has a picture of Lord Ganesh on it. The ancient capital of Thailand is Ayutthaya. There's versions of the Ramayana in all Southeast Asian countries. There was a time when India was so powerful and rich that many foreigners wanted to Indianize themselves because they thought it raised their status, right? And our culture was attractive. Like today, there are many people who want to Americanize themselves because they think it raises their status. You'll notice so many people will walk by, just walk on the street of the American embassy and suddenly get an American accent. Or they'll say, don't call me Mukesh, call me Mike. You know, there are people today who do that. Well, there was a time when people would take on the name Jai Varman. He was a Cambodian, but he took on the name Jai Varman, which is an Indian name, right? Why? Because they thought it raised their status. They took on Indian attitudes, Indian culture. China, Japan, Central Asia took on Buddhist, philosophies. Ancient Rome, the elite used to follow a religion called Mithraism, and Mithra is actually an ancient Vedic god, right? So there was a time when India's culture was so attractive that other parts of the world also wanted to emulate us. So we should learn that from our ancestors as well. Go and speak of our culture to others in a confident, polite manner. Many of them will actually get attracted to our culture and we'll make friends, right? Just like it happened 1,000 years ago. So that's another lesson we should learn from our ancestors. Confidently speak of our culture to others, and yes, learn from them as well. So these are the lessons I think one can draw from our ancestors, which become even more relevant as we become a powerful, increasingly powerful and wealthy country. I genuinely believe this is among the best times in the last many centuries to be born an Indian. There are so many opportunities in today's world. And to all of you students, I wish you all the very best. Dream big dreams, work hard, make your parents proud, make India a wealthy, powerful nation once again, and most importantly, find a sense of purpose and make yourself happy. And then that's it. Now over to you.
Fantastically spoken.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. It was really wonderful to hear you. We've never read these words, but listening from you live, it makes all the difference. Now, students are waiting for the questions. Are you all ready? Okay, we'll start. First of all, we have Suhani Chauhan. Mishti Suhani is a budding author, she's a budding scientist, and she's a great football player. Okay. And the most important human value she upholds is compassion. And she's going to start not with a question, with the rapid fire round.
Okay.
Over to you, Suhani.
Thank
Okay,
you.
hi Suhani.
Good evening, sir. A very warm welcome to you, and we are delighted to have an illustrious author and diplomat amongst us. I would like to ask some questions in a rapid fire format. If I have your permission, should I begin?
Sure, go ahead.
So, sir, which is your all-time favorite book, except yours, of course?
I think if you give only one all-time favorite book, then you haven't read enough. You need to read a lot more. I read at least 5-6 books per month. So normally how I answer this question is of the books I've read in the recent past, which ones have I liked? So I'm reading a book of Niall Ferguson, who's a British historian and author, brilliant scholar, called Doom. A lovely book. I would encourage all of you to check it out. Brilliant book. Doom.
Thank you so much, sir. So can you name one other author which has impressed you with their work and which you look forward to?
I tend to read more non-fiction. So, especially non-fiction books which kind of challenge you and change your way of thinking. So Niall Ferguson, I've just listed. I also read V.S. Naipaul's A Million Mutinies now recently, once again, and that is another brilliant book. I'd recommend that too.
Thank you, sir. And what do you like to do other than writing and reading in your free time?
I love listening to music, so I listen to a lot of music. I jog or cycle around Hyde Park, and I love traveling. Traveling is also in some ways an educational experience. These are the things I like doing.
Absolutely agree, sir. And of course, if with your very busy schedule, how do you usually relax when you're
done with the day?
I'm a workaholic, man. So I'm working 7 days a week, 13, 14 hours a day. So I don't really relax much.
Thank you for all your answers, sir. I would like to give the podium to the next student.
Thanks,
Thank
Vani.
you. Thank you, Suhani. And next in line, we have Ishan Sharma from Amity, Vasundhara, Sector 1, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. Ishan is also an avid reader. Over to you, Ishan.
Hi, Ishan.
Namaskar, sir, and a very good evening.
Very good evening to you as well.
I just want to say how delightful I am to be sitting here in front of you today. And
Thanks,
I
Ishan.
just recently finished reading one of your books, The Immortals of Meluha, last month only.
Oh.
And what a coincidence that I'm sitting here in front of you. My school gave me an opportunity to interact with you, and I am very obliged with that. So I've been following you and have seen your documentaries and podcasts lately. And my question to you is that are you a devotee first and an author second, or vice versa?
No, I'm very clearly a devotee first. Very clearly. There's a lovely Sanskrit line, Yadyat karma karomi tadadakilam shambho tavaradhanam, that every action that I do, my Lord Shiva, I do it in your honor. It's a prayer in your honor. I'm very clearly, I have an Om Namah Shivaya Kada.
I noticed that.
I'm a very proud Lord Shiva devotee with complete respect to all other gods and goddesses. All of us have a right to, find the god or goddess who inspires us. But for me, it's Lord Shiva.
But sir, you were an atheist first, weren't you?
I was, yes. So I was a believer in my younger days. Then when I joined college, I became an atheist. I was an atheist for, I think, maybe 10, 15 years. And writing my books kind of slowly brought me back to faith. So it was kind of like a return to faith, not a discovery of faith. Having said that, I must clarify, in the Indian way, there's nothing wrong with being an atheist. Because what is of primary importance in the Indian way is having good karma, or karma in alignment with dharma. So you'll notice many of the schools of philosophy of the dharmic religion, so Sankhya, Mimamsa, Charvaks, which are Hindu schools of philosophy, are atheist schools. They don't believe in a creator god. Bodha, Jaina, many of the dominant schools in Buddhism and Jainism actually don't believe in a creator god. So which in the modern term is atheism. What unites all the dharmic religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, that more than faith, it is about having good karma, or karma that is in alignment with dharma. So atheism wasn't considered a sin or a crime in the Indian.
But why Shiva, sir? Why not Ramchandraji or Lord Krishna?
No, one of the beauties of the Indian way is, that you can respect and worship all forms of the divine. So in my puja room at home, of course, I have a murti of Shivji and the Shivling in the center. But I have, murtis of Lord Ram, of Lord Krishna, of Kali Ma, of Saraswati Ma, of Lakshmi Ma, of Lord Ganesh, all of them. And I have
Shivji is Mahadev. Shivji is Mahadev.
Correct. But I have marks and symbols of other faiths as well. So I have Guru Nanak Ji's picture. I have Mahavir Ji. I have Buddha, the Star of David. I have a lovely Byzantine picture of Jesus Christ. The Kaaba. I worship, all of them. In the Indian way, this is not out of the ordinary. We respect all paths, all religions.
Right. Thank you. Now we have Kainaat Arif from Amity Vrindavan Yojana, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Kainaat is a budding author. She has been selected one of the 75 under 30 years authors all over India for Prime Minister's prestigious Mentoring Yuva scheme designed for mentoring young authors of India. Over to you, Kainaat.
Respected sir, good evening. Firstly,
Hi,
I would like
Kailash.
to... Hello, sir.
Yes, Kainaat.
Firstly, I am here. Am I not visible on your screen?
Yes,
I can see you. I can see you.
Firstly, I would like to preface by saying how good it felt to hear from you. My question to you is this. Since British rule, Indian children have always grown up hearing stories of Western characters. First, it was Robin Hood, then Sherlock Holmes, Popeye, and now Spider-Man. But children from the West have never heard of Indian characters like Birbal, Tenali Rama, or even Chata Chaudhary. Your Shiva trilogy and the Ramchandra series have done great work in exporting Indian culture to the rest of the globe. But according to you, how can we as citizens ensure that our stories are not lost in a world so congested with anime and Marvel superheroes?
Yeah, Kainat, very good question. And I think a key part of the rest of the world knowing our stories is that we ourselves should know our stories first. Among the things that happens, in today's education system, and I'm delighted that Amity School is addressing this to a large extent. Our own Indian education system used to be very colonial and is still in many ways colonized. So I'm not just talking about literature where we'll be taught Shakespeare or Tennyson, will not be taught Kalidasa or Bhasa or Thiruvalluvar or Mirza Ghalib or who are literary heroes. But forget about literature. Even in other areas, in mathematics, for example, you would have heard of Pythagoras' theorem. Now, I don't know if it is being taught. I'm a graduate in mathematics. I did BSc mathematics. Pythagoras' theorem was discovered actually by Bodhayanaji, an Indian rishi, 200 years before Pythagoras. But this is not taught in most Indian school. Western mathematicians have accepted it, right? In medicine, they teach Hippocrates, but they do not teach Charak and Shushruta. In so many areas where our own traditions are not taught. So my thing is, before getting the West or others to know our stories, we need to know our own stories first. And our education system is still in many ways deeply colonial. So which is why there are many wrong interpretations or erroneous interpretations that survive, in the educated Indians' mind till today. So, for example, the British told us a lie that, ancient Indians never wrote anything and we were an oral culture. It's not really true. The ancient Greek manuscripts, handwritten manuscripts that survive till today. And Greece, remember, is the mother culture of Europe. That's between 20 to 25,000. As handwritten manuscripts. That's a good number, 20 to 25,000. So, Kainat, I'd like you to guess how many Indian handwritten Sanskrit manuscripts survive till today, according to the National Mission of Manuscripts. Like I told you the Greek number, which gives you a benchmark, mother culture of Europe. Handwritten manuscripts shows the knowledge production of ancient Greeks, 20 to 25,000 manuscripts. Guess how many Sanskrit handwritten manuscripts survive till today?
I'm going to go optimistic and say 80,000.
80,000? Go higher.
100,000?
Go higher.
5 crore.
No, 5 crores is too high. but 3 million, 30 lakhs. Ancient Indians wrote more than the rest of the ancient world combined. We were an oral culture, but we also wrote a hell of a lot. Our ancestors were kick-ass in many ways. The underperformers are modern Indians who don't even know this, who haven't even translated many of these texts. And most of these texts are actually not spiritual or religious texts. Most of these texts are scientific, mathematical, medical, so many others, right? So many of these wrong interpretations, which the British told us for their own selfish reasons, no? I mean, the best way to rule a populace is to convince them that they were all actually idiots. Their ancestors were idiots, so they deserve to be ruled by foreigners.
They have done it already.
Yeah, and the foreigners are gone, but we are still continuing to believe the lies that they told us, right? So, Kainat, you have a very, very good question. I don't deny that we need to tell the West about our culture. But first, let us ask our own culture. And then we will automatically inform them.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much.
अमित जी, thank you so much आपको बच्चों को ये बात बताने के लिए. So
Because
happy that
ma'am has been telling this so often in almost all her talks. She mentions this, and I can see so much of similarity between chairperson's thoughts and Amishji's thoughts. Next in line, we have Akanksha Kumari. Akanksha Kumari is from Amitasha School. Amishji, Amitasha, as the name suggests, it's the Asha of our Amita ma'am, a special school for the less privileged girl students. There are about 1,000 students from the neighborhood villages who get free education, meals, books, uniform, everything in these special schools. Over to you, Akanksha.
Yes, ma'am. Namaste. Esteemed sir, first book, The Immortals of Mehula, was rejected by 20 publishers before you self-published it. Sir, it became a bestseller within its first week of sale. Sir, can you please give us tips on how and what inspired you in your goal to make the story reach your vast readership?
Akanksha, very good question. Thank you. The thing is, when I was writing, I wasn't really thinking about where the book would go. I wrote in a way like what the Bhagavad Gita tells us, karmanya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachanate. I wrote the book just for myself. I didn't really think about the fruits of or whether the book will be a success or not. I just wanted to try the best that I could for it. So I wrote the book with the purity of my heart. But when it was launched, I did various innovative marketing techniques which hadn't been tried before. One of the things I've learned in life is nothing sells by itself. You should keep the product pure. But once you are marketing, you should be a practical, pragmatic marketing guy and market it properly. Only then it sells. So there's a lot of innovative marketing ideas that we did. We distributed the first chapter free of cost. We made a trailer film for the book and launched that on YouTube. I'm talking about 2010. So it was the first time things like this had been done for a book. And that's what really helped in the marketing of the book. So I guess my learning is rather that write with purity of your heart, but you need to do proper marketing as well. Not just for books, anything that you do, you have to do proper marketing as well. Otherwise, things don't sell by themselves.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And now we have Adhiraj Chauhan from Amity Push Vihar, New Delhi. Adhiraj is a great footballer. He's a budding scientist. He's a superb speaker with a wonderful sense of humor. And he also participated in Oxford MUN and met you in London. Over to you, Adhiraj.
Namaste,
Adhiraj.
sir. It is an honor seeing you again, sir. My question for
Thanks,
you
Adhiraj.
is, what made you realize that language has power?
Very good question. Good question, Adhiraj.
Simple and
I think I learned that first from my father. He had this talk with me once. My father had this approach. He was a real intellectual. He used to read a lot, and his entire approach was that no matter how young a child, don't treat him like a child. No? Actually, have mature, intelligent conversations with him. Make him read things, which many would say is beyond that child's age, and he would say nothing is beyond any child's age. Make them read. It'll go somewhere in the back of the mind. And among the things that he pointed out to me is that language so often carries the culture that the language emerged from, right? And so many people don't even realize it. It just becomes a part of their everyday life. So if you think about it, in English, I don't know if you've noticed, in English, the grammar rule is that the male god is written with a capital G. The female goddess is written with a small g.
Small g.
I don't know if you noticed that. That's a grammar rule, right? And what my father pointed out, we were young at that time. And he said, if you think about it, it shows the culture that English emerged from. That the male god is superior, female god is not so much, right? And he said, those who think in English just imbibe this without even realizing it, that the male god is superior, female goddess is inferior. And he said, think about Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, the male god and the female goddess have the same term. There is no difference in the respect, right? And he said, then someone thinking in Sanskrit, it comes almost instinctively, you don't even realize it. Male god, female goddess are equal. So male and female are also equal. Whereas English said, you don't even realize it because it's a power of the language. You just grow up with it. Female god must be inferior to the male god. You don't even realize it, right? He said, like, for example, so many of us, those of us who are educated in English, understand the concept of a spelling competition, right? He said, if you're educated in Sanskrit or in a phonetically scientific language like Hindi, Tamil, Marathi, you don't even understand the concept of a spelling contest because the word is spelled the way it's pronounced. There is no, because it's a scientific language, right? Sanskrit, Hindi, Tamil, these are all scientific, Gujarati, these are scientific languages. They are phonetic languages. Urdu, so you write the way it is pronounced, right? It's not so in English. You don't write the way it's pronounced, right? Because English is not a phonetic language, right? So you write L-I-T and you pronounce it as lit. You add a G-H to it, L-I-G-H-T, it changes the pronunciation of I, right? It becomes light. What is the logic? God knows. And those of us who grow up in English think it's normal. But someone who's grown up in Sanskrit or Hindi, they're like, yaar, ye kya kar raha hu? Ye kya logic hai? Ye to avaigyaanik hai. Correct. Now, that's the power of language, that some things just appear natural to you when it's actually unnatural. If you think about it, why should the word be spelled differently from how it's pronounced? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And in all scientific languages, the word is always spelled the way it's pronounced. If you want to say cha-cha, you say cha-a. You don't say cha-e. Correct? Because it's spelled the way it's pronounced. That's a scientific language. So see the power of language. Something that is completely unnatural appears natural to you because you've grown up in English, right? Or you think of male god as more powerful, female goddess as less powerful because you've grown up in English. If you grow up in Sanskrit, it won't even strike you, right? That's the power of language. So many things get inbuilt without you even realizing.
True.
Wonderful answer. Amishji, wonderful answer. I want to add here one thing. Adhiraj has met you earlier and Dorai Swamiji in England. When he came back, he is my grandson also.
Okay.
when he came back, Amishji was so happy. So, what was your experience? But he says, Badi Ma, meeting both of them, I've matured myself. Matured boy. That was his answer.
Thanks, thank you.
What a chance. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
So
Mishi ma'am has inspired, I think most of our students who are listening will be now reading in Sanskrit, would want to learn Sanskrit.
They should, all the Amitis should learn Sanskrit. I think so. All the Indians should know about Sanskrit. They should read Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, then they will know about their culture.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have Kayan Khetripal from Amity, Gurugram, Sector 43, Haryana. Kayan is a sportsman and he has also written a book. Over to you, Kayan.
Thanks, Kayan.
Good evening, sir. Writing mythological or historical fiction requires reading facts and adding your own flavor. So, how should a writer draw the line between distorting historical or mythological facts and creating fiction?
Kayan, one of the things I've learned is it's more about the attitude. If you write with respect, Indians are broad-minded and liberal enough to listen to a different interpretation. Because most Indians when they grow up, they're used to different interpretations. Like in North India, Lord Karthik is considered a bachelor. When South India, Lord Karthik has two wives, Valli ji and Sena ji. Right? There are two different interpretations. What is the truth? God knows, right? In the Ramayana, there's no mention of Lord Ram having a sister. But in the Padma Puran, there is mention of Lord Ram having a sister called Shantaji. Which is the truth? I don't know, right? So Indians are used to different interpretations. The key thing that I've seen is if you do it with respect, then Indians are broad-minded and liberal enough to accept a different interpretation. So it's more about what's in your heart. I know it sounds slightly theoretical, but genuinely, if in your heart there's respect, it'll show in your work, and then people accept it. There's no controversy. So let me give you an example outside of my books. Let me give you an example from a movie, because movies these days oftentimes cause controversy. But if if we went to a Bollywood producer and say we suggested that do a scene in a movie where the main hero of the movie goes to a shivling and then breaks the base of the shivling and then lifts up the shivling on his shoulder and then walks up to a waterfall and then places the shivling under the waterfall. What do you think the Bollywood producer will tell you? Are you mad? I mean, this movie will attract a lot of controversy. But in the hands of a genuine devotee like Raja Ji, who's genuinely a very proud follower of Hinduism, a very proud devotee of Lord Shiva, this scene became one of the most iconic scenes of the movie Bahubali. There's no controversy around it. People actually love that scene, right? So it was the respect in the heart of the director and all the actors which just showed in that scene, and most Indians can see it, and therefore there was no controversy, right? So the thing I've learned is just your attitude should be respectful. Then there's no controversy.
Right, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Jyoti ji, sorry, just wanted to ask how many more questions because I have another thing to go to. Can we end in the next 5 minutes if that's okay?
There are 8 more questions. So quickly, I'll just.
Yeah.
So next question,
We'll have some
Basu.
5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Everybody can join your answers.
So otherwise, we'll send you all the questions because there are about 323 more people,
Wow.
as attendees.
Okay.
Even they might also send. Anyway,
Okay.
so the next child is Ahiri Basu from Amity, Noida. She's a debater, poet, singer, and dancer. Over to you, Ahiri.
Okay.
A very good evening to
Hi,
our
Ahiri.
honorable chairperson, ma'am, and respected guest, Shri Amish Tripathi, sir. Hello, sir. We are indeed very fortunate to interact with the legendary author of the most popular mythological series. I
Thanks,
first encountered your books in the 7th standard and was instantly motivated and enthralled by your strong and powerful women characters, powerful not only in strength but also in their fields of profession. The representation of independent working women, that too in the ancient past, really moved me and made me a fan ever since.
Thank you.
Sir, my question to you is, all your books have been about the rich mythological legacy of ancient India. Where did you get the inspiration to humanize the Hindu gods and relate your stories with the issues of the modern world?
Look, firstly, to write on some subjects, one has to have the knowledge of these subjects. And I was lucky that the family I was born into, meant that I could have knowledge of all these subjects. My grandfather was a priest in Banaras in Kashi. So he was a Pandit at Vishwanath Ji. He was also a teacher at BHU. My paternal grandfather, my father's side, and my maternal grandmother was also a teacher in Gwalior. So the family atmosphere was such that I learned a lot of these things. I read a lot as well. But how that knowledge converts into a story, that's Lord Shiva's blessings. I've said it often, I don't really understand where the story comes from. There's no logical process. I kind of open the laptop and I kind of see a parallel universe and I record what I see. Right? And to me, it genuinely does appear like it's Lord Shiva's blessings. So I'm more of a channel than a creator. I just channel his creativity. That's the way it comes to me.
Beautifully written. Thank you, sir. The next student, incidentally, has met you in 2017 when she was in class 4, Nandini Rastogi. She's a writer, and it was in a literary festival in India Habitat Center where she met you.
Okay.
Over to you, Nandini.
Namaste and good evening, sir. I am Nandini
Namaste,
Rastogi,
Nandini.
class 9.
Hi.
Hello, sir. It is my second time interacting with you, and it is such an honor to interact with you again. My question to you is, your characters are multidimensional. Sita is a warrior princess, and Ravan is not all evil. Is it a conscientious decision to give your characters multitude of shades to break the stereotype?
Nandini, I'd love to say that this is my creativity and I thought up of this. But actually, if you see our ancient versions, things are actually quite nuanced. You know, our ancestors wrote things in a very nuanced way. But modern Indians are understanding of many of these great epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, is based on some television serials. Now, I'm not deriding those television serials; they were very good, and they really, ensured that we didn't forget our stories. Because, like I said, our education system was such that we weren't being taught any of this. But if you see the ancient versions, they weren't as simplistic as some of the television serials have shown. So the ancient versions of the Valmiki Ramayana, ancient versions of the Mahabharata, they were very nuanced. So, for example, Ravan's bad points were shown, but his good points were also shown. The fact that he was a Shiv Bhakt, that he was very knowledgeable, that he was a great warrior, yeah, those were shown in the ancient versions. So actually, in some ways, my books are closer to our more ancient versions in their attitude than to the modern ones.
Okay, thank you, sir.
रावण को दशानन भी बोलते हैं ना कि 10
हाँ, correct. You're right. You're right, Agniza ji.
He was so intelligent.
Yes, शिव स्तोत्रम भी उन्होंने लिखा था ना.
हाँ, correct. तांडव स्तोत्र आज भी हम लोग, we still chant it.
Yes.
Jyoti
Next
ji, can this be the last question? If that's okay.
Jyoti, you can, I think so. We can meet again, Amish ji.
100%. Yeah, we will.
When, sir?
For all of us.
We'll fix up something. My assistant will fix up something.
Okay, okay, sir. So last question of Viraj Solanki from Amity Global School, Noida. Sir, this is our global school offering IB and Cambridge curricula. So over to you, Viraj. He's also a budding author.
Both the principals are here.
Yes, both principals are here. Yes, ma'am. Aarti Gupta, ma'am, principal of Amity
Good
Global.
evening, Amish ji. Good evening.
Namaskar, Amish ji. This is Jayashree Kad from another Amity School, Noida.
Namaste.
Yes, Viraj.
Namaste, sir. My question to you is, what kind of research goes in determining the authenticity of the content you base your books on?
Good question, Viraj. Because my books are, a mixture of three things. One is, based on ancient texts, many of which I have read. Then my own interpretations and philosophical messages that I want to convey. So some of them may appear different to modern Indians because they may not have read the ancient version. So, for example, in Ram's Sign of Ikshvaku, I begin the book with a fierce war between Lord Dashrath, who was Lord Ram's father, and Ravan. Now, this is not there in the television series, it's not there in the Valmiki Ramayana, but actually it is there in the Anand Ramayana, which is also credited to Valmiki ji, where in the Anand Ramayana there was a very fierce war between Ravan and Lord Dashrath close to the sea. So I was inspired by that and I put that out here. So, whereas the answer to your question is there are many versions of the Ramayana and I've either read or been told many of those versions. So all that then goes into as research, and then many of them get kind of melded together. So the thing of the interpretation of seeing goddess Sita as a warrior actually is inspired by the Adbhut Ramayana, which is also credited to Valmiki ji. So essentially there are various different interpretations which get melded together into this.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
for
sir. Thank you so
When are you
much.
coming to Delhi? When are you coming to Delhi? Our founder will definitely love to meet you and the chancellors of Amity University.
100%, Amitaji. Next time I come, I'll be sure to inform Jyoti ji and you, or Jyoti ji, if an introduction could just be set up between Dr. Amitaji and me, and I will certainly inform whenever I come next.
और हम आपके writing lab के साथ भी काम करना चाहते हैं. With your writing lab, if it is possible.
Of course,
no?
yeah, we'll discuss that.
Writing lab and your
Nehru Center
के साथ
and
भी हम.
and a school, ma'am, a school partnership with UK.
But we are with many countries like Korea we are doing. With Ravindranath,
Vivekanand, Hanji, Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center, and ma'am, the Cultural Center in Hungary also. We are having a very good partnership.
So that we get a good exposure for the children. We want to give exposure. They know more about the world. So we want to work for that. No, so, I mean, if you can help us in that, no.
100%.
So before,
what you told about English God and Goddess, no, it was such it was a very new learning.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
It was very, it was a,
yes.
So children will
Excellent.
know about your culture, and your culture is in Sanskrit language. Am I correct, Amish ji?
I agree. I agree.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Jyoti will contact you.
Yes,
Sure.
with your permission, ma'am, sir, before you go, one last
Yes, yes.
message to
Of course.
Amitians, and what is your impression about Amity?
No, I mean if there is a message, if there is one that I can give interacting with Amity students both in London and through this call, I am even more confident about India's future.
Wow.
If such children are going to be running India now, yeah, we'll probably, we won't have to wait 25 years for a per capita income to cross Europe's. We'll probably do it in 15.
We'll see in our lifetimes, as ma'am says always. I will see it in my lifetime.
In my lifetime,
wonderful.
Amitians are doing the great thing for India.
Yeah.
It was a great learning, and I think children must be very aware and feeling very proud of the country and their
Thank
language.
you so much. So kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amitaji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We are very grateful to Amity Saket and of course our chairperson for giving us this wonderful platform. And
I'm very thankful to Jyoti, my crazy girl.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
Amity Mayur Vihar, the whole Amity Saket team, the IT department, Amity University for giving us the link, the teachers who made the video, the compares, the wonderful compares, and everyone who worked for this wonderful program, singing, dancing,
We
everything.
work together in school. All the schools work together for
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you. And our advisor is also there, sitting there. No, Bajpayee ji, Mrs. Setia.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Chal.
Everyone is here.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Bye.
Thank you.
Good
so much.
evening.
Thank you.
Bajpayee ji, आप भी बोल दो, Bajpayee
Good
ji.
evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure listening to you,
This
sir.
is our
Thank
Amity
you.
Universe.
was
Amity
pleasure.
Universe.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
evening, and thank you very much.
So nice of you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Nice sir. and
Thank
wonderful
you.
experience just to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
In one of our school, no?
Yes, ma'am, we will invite him. I think he has left now, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
He
It
spoke
was
very well.
जी मैम बहुत ही beautifully or we could understand, ma'am, what he's trying to say. And the best part was he said this is the most exciting time to be an Indian.
That is
And
correct. I think this is the most exciting time at this time, no?
So, ma'am,
The economy is doing so well. Innovation, maybe we are now on the 40th place for innovation. Every area and every sphere we are doing well. India is doing well. Even the foreign policy, our Prime Minister is so respected wherever he goes. Everyone loves our Prime Minister. So, he is bringing India to the forefront.
And ma'am, this is exactly what you are teaching, the values you are giving. We are just on the right track, and we are blessed
My dear
that
children
we
and
all are
everyone,
here.
I'm so happy we are on the right direction from the day one
Yes,
when we
ma'am.
started Amity. We started with the same, with the philosophy, we should respect ourselves, we should respect our culture, we should read our कहते हैं, जो अपने Vedas, we should read Upanishad. If you, or he was just telling about Sanskrit is not only Rigved, Samved, medical, history, economics, everything, mathematics. आपके Pythagoras जो theorem के बारे में he was telling, तो there are so many सूत्र. कहाँ हजारों वर्ष पहले the rishis wrote the सूत्र. आपको है ना कहते हैं मिसेस हर हम बच्चों को
Yes, ma'am.
दिखाएं सूत्र.
Yes, yes,
में जो कहते हैं जो ऋषियों ने सूत्र लिखे हैं, I think
yes.
so
We must, yes. I think we
Vedic
should.
sutras are there. Vedic
Yes,
sutras are there.
yes,
We can
yes.
teach them.
We can teach them.
तो जो manuscript
Yes.
वगैरह होता था तो there are सूत्र. We'll tell
And
them
so many
see and
students are
believe.
authors, ma'am.
My dear children, आपने बहुत अच्छा बोला and the question what you asked was very relevant. बहुत बढ़िया सोच के आपने question पूछे सर. We am so
Thank you,
grateful
ma'am.
and thankful, feeling so proud. अच्छी
Yes,
तरह से
ma'am.
respectfully.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ask the question
Thank you
respectfully.
so much, ma'am.
Very good. So we
Everyone
can-
should fill up the feedback form, ma'am. I just thought I'd tell them
Okay,
there's a
okay,
feedback form.
Yes.
with that.
Yes,
Ma'am,
everybody.
thank you so
And
much, ma'am. What a wonderful opportunity we all
yes,
had.
ma'am.
The compeers, all the children who asked the questions, all the audience.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
it was a great learning experience.
And
Thank
all
you,
the
Chairperson, ma'am.
answers.
Thank you.
His
ma'am.
answers was
Each
superb.
answer was
His answer was superb.
पर बिल्कुल
His
बिल्कुल
answers.
I was every word of his was touching my heart.
Yes,
Everything.
yes. It was a learning. It was a learning. Every word he said. Yes.
Great learning.
Yes.
I agree.
And ma'am,
Great
all
learning.
these students are mostly authors. Now they can find out certain characters from our olden texts and write about them, discover them, you know.
I want to ask
So
from the
inspiring.
children, इनका क्या expo? We are talking, just talking. I want to hear from the children.
Ah,
कैसा लगा? How did they like? है ना?
okay.
कहते हैं, I
Let's
read.
start from Rabia. Rabia, you want to, how did you feel, beta?
Ma'am, I feel that this was a golden opportunity for me because when I heard his answers, I got an insight to all the education and all the learnings we've received at Amity from nursery. Ma'am, since nursery, even we used to have those small competitions about Sanskrit shlokas, and that still happens. And the way Sir explained all of that today on how India's culture is so rich and how we're connected with the world so deeply, that really made me feel like I am a very proud Indian, and I'm sure everyone here benefited immensely from this lifetime opportunity of interacting with Sir. And I'm very grateful to Amity for this.
Good. Swayam, what about you, beta?
Yes, ma'am. Like when I was listening to him, I was so amazed. He's such a knowledgeable person. He has so great insights about such topics. I was like, oh my God, like the examples were so like heartfelt and so clear. If his the Sanskrit shloks in between and how clear he was in his thought process and his ideas, it was just a great pleasure.
Great. Ahiri, can you tell us one highlight which really impressed you? Ahiri Basu? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's very difficult to choose just one highlight, but I think all the 4 lessons that he taught us that we should learn from our ancient leaders and ancient people that really stuck with me.
Great. Ishan Sharma?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I really like the part that he was handling every question with so much fluency, and I just loved the way he was speaking to all of us, and his public speaking is so great. I learned so much today from him, and I just never expected that I will be able to meet such a great personality. I would like to thank my school and Amity and dear chairperson, ma'am, for this opportunity. I'm really glad.
This is
And
exactly.
AERC, Ishan AERC, every program, so we do diplomat talk through AERC, and Jyoti ma'am is having that.
Could we ask some of the children who did
Yes.
not get a chance to ask questions, Jyoti ma'am?
Yes, I think we
I
can.
want to say one thing to every children. while he was talking, he was using the shloks, no?
Hmm.
The shloks जो हमने आपको सिखाते हैं ना, my thought was behind कि आपको you should know the
बिल्कुल
Sanskrit.
बिल्कुल
So,
बिल्कुल
and you will grow up and you will speak, give the lecture, so you can use these shloks whenever you are speaking to the public. And in this way, you will be different than the other children of different schools. Our thought, एक तो ये thought था, the second thought, you know your culture, what our culture says. There were two thoughts behind teaching you shloks.
Right.
Huh? Is it clear? Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
There were two thoughts behind teaching you shloks.
And
Ma'am,
only
I would
now you
also like to share my experience.
Mentioning all the shloks, उनका मतलब. So whenever you will grow up, तो कहीं आप you will be on the high post. तो आपको तो बोलना ही पड़ेगा. You have to give lectures. You have to speak to the people. Every week आप अरे ये वाला फटाफट श्लोक याद करके, or you can always connect it.
yes
To hear further एक दो लोगों से और.
Ravina Rastogi, how did you like beta?
Yes, Mom, I think it was very interactive, and I had recently started reading Amish Ji's books. And as someone who liked Greek mythology a lot and preferred it, this was a breath of Indian air for me to read about Indian mythology. And the part that I liked the most was when he talked about how we should share our knowledge, because without sharing we will stop growing, and without growing we will obviously die one day. So I think that is something we should all understand. And if we are knowledgeable, I think knowledge is something that you gain if you share. So that was the highlight of this talk for me.
Very good. Very true. Very true. Charu Anuraj?
Just a minute, Jyoti, please can I speak? It was what you wanted to ask the children who didn't get a chance to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
And also, you can ask the
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm asking them only. Charu Anuraj? Charu Anuraj?
Maybe Gauri Sharma Jyoti from my school.
Okay, after Charu, then Gauri.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm a little dejected that I did not get to ask my question because I was really looking forward to interacting with him. But then it's okay. He's a very busy person, diplomat.
Charu, we send your questions to him and then he will answer them.
Yes, surely.
Yes, ma'am, surely. I really loved his anecdotes and the way he fluently and with a lot of clarity he spoke his thoughts, and the way he wields his knowledge is absolutely impeccable. And the highlight for me was that part where he talked about the god and goddess thing, that grammatically goddess is written with a small g and not a capital G. That was something that I did not notice before, and it was very what can I say, surprising for me to know that. So yeah,
it was really good, huh?
Yeah.
Which school are you, Charu? From which school are you?
Ma'am, Vasundhara 6.
Okay, from Amity Global School, Gurgaon, Gauri.
I think I have the same reaction. I am a little sad that I did not get to ask him a question because I was so excited the entire day today. But I mean, he's a very busy person. I get that. I think moreover, answering the way he answers, I was shocked by how dynamic and down to earth of a person he is, and the way he's so connected to the roots and his upbringing. And the way he talks about his parents, the way he was an atheist was a very shocking part, because I thought that if he writes about Hindu mythology, he must be a great believer. So that was very shocking. And I am so impressed with his speaking skills. I really hope to gain more from him. So I made notes. I'm going to read them after this about how he answered all the questions.
Yeah, he's a voracious reader. He said he reads about 4 to 5 books in a day.
Yeah. No, a month.
A month? Okay.
Yeah, that's similar to my count. So I was happy.
Okay, great.
You also read 4 to 5 books in a month. Got it?
Month. Yes.
Month. He reads a lot, ma'am. and especially history. He reads a lot of history. If you want to know more about him, see some of his conversations, interviews. Okay. Mohammed,
Jyoti, you ask the children to write
yes,
their
ma'am.
feedback.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Children who are unable to ask him, you take their questions and send to him.
Yes, ma'am.
And that he replies to the children.
Yes,
No?
ma'am. In the feedback form, we have one question. Any question you want to ask, we will compile and send it to him.
I'll send it and we will call him again.
Yes, ma'am. We'll call him again.
We'll try that he comes again on the platform.
Yes, ma'am. He mentioned that he will come. Since you said he will definitely come. Hanji. Yukti Patil from Mohali, Punjab. Yukti Patil, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I loved the part that he was like, he knew all the answers to the point what he had to answer, and like it didn't even take him a second, and how fluent he was with the strokes and everything.
Right, absolutely.
From which class are you, Yukti?
Ma'am, 8th.
Class 8. You also an author? You write books?
No, ma'am, I prefer reading more.
Okay, prefer reading. Very good. Very good, Yukti.
We have Shivi Vishishta from Amity Gurgaon, Sector 46.
Yes, ma'am. So actually, I enjoyed the session throughout, and I personally wanted to ask sir a few questions. But okay, as you said, I'll mail you, and then you can forward it to him. But as for my review, I enjoyed the interacting with him, and the session was very interactive. And I personally am not that much into mythology and Indian history, but after listening to him and after recently reading his books, I was very mesmerized, and it's a pleasure meeting him in person, like in this session.
Right.
From which school are you, Shivi?
Ma'am, Amity 46.
Amity 46.
Okay. Mohammed, you got a chance to speak. From Pushpya, Lavanya Bansal. Lavanya Bansal.
Good evening, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So it was a very informative and enjoyable session altogether. The part that amazed me the most was that how well informed was Sir about the whole country and how he wanted to give us us an insight about it, that we should be well informed about it, how our country is rising up back again and will surpass rest of the countries. It was an exquisite experience and a little disheartening that I could not get a chance to interact with him, but I'll surely write my question for what I'm curious about. And this really inspired me to read more of his books that reach every nook and corner, which have exquisite meanings and storylines behind them.
Okay, thank you, Lavanya. I think all have got a chance to speak. Is there anyone left?
Ma'am, can I share my experience, Nandini, this side?
Yes,
Nandini. Have already spoken, no?
Yes, ma'am, but I would like to share my experience of this
session.
So, ma'am, I really liked how humble and down to earth Amish sir was, and that is also the motto of our school, Vidya Dadati Vinyam. And I would like to thank Chairperson ma'am and Jyoti ma'am for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
So she's related a school motto, ma'am, with the personality.
Good idea.
So now you know why Chairperson ma'am selected this motto, because when she started 32 years ago, ma'am, 32 years ago, and much before that, you must have planned all this.
91 mein to school started. Before that, we made the logo and everything was ready. Uniform kya hogi? What will be the uniform? Logo
And ma'am,
kya
even modernity blends with tradition. Even that is so important. That's exactly what we were speaking today. I mean, इतने साल पहले, decades पहले आपका जो vision था.
ज्योति और मैं सबसे अच्छी बात है बच्चों ने जो फीडबैक दिया एंड दे वे दे गिव द फीडबैक सो हैप्पी अ प्राउड चेयरपर्सन
यस मैम
फ्रॉम डिफरेंट स्कूल ये नहीं कि एक ही स्कूल में सब कुछ अच्छी लैंग्वेज फ्रॉम ऑल द स्कूल्स इवन युक्ति स्पोक सो वेल छोटी क्लास
8th standard
फ्रॉम मोहाली
Wonderful. Ma'am, what a wonderful way to start the new year.
From global.
Thank you.
देखिए ना हमारे global school का तो वो logo ही है वसुधैव कुटुंबकम.
Kutumbakam.
World is one.
Right, ma'am.
So wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. What was a wonderful, wonderful way to start the new year. It's a beautiful satsang we had.
हमारे बीच में गुंजन सिंह भी है. Jyoti, we have got Gunjan Singh.
Hanji, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening from Amitasha.
From Amitasha.
Ma'am,
And
Kumkum Kumari was also there from Amitasha. She also, I think she's there. Akansha spoke, but Kumkum did not.
Yeah, acha, acha.
Yeah.
one student per school
Yeah.
got a chance.
Yeah,
Hanji,
yeah. She
Hanji.
at least got the chance. I'm so happy that she spoke, ma'am.
Is she there? Is she there still?
Kumkum, you're there? I can see her name, but Kumkum,
Acha.
you're there? I think like some maybe network.
Okay, okay. Jyoti, very good.
Ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jyoti and the team के लिए बहुत ताली है ना कि आपका
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I could not read the names of all the teachers, ma'am, who were part of
we
the
had a very
whole.
short time. That was
Yeah, ma'am.
important.
Yes.
आप सबको thank you letter लिख दीजिए.
जी मैम.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Certificates will
Thank
be
you,
given.
ma'am.
Certificates will be given as desired by Chairperson ma'am to all the students and all the teachers who have worked for this program. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Jyoti.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much,
Coming for this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Swayam
much.
and Rabia and Divya
Thank you.
ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
So
Thank
much
you.
of
Thank you
your
for
team
the
put in so much hard
opportunity,
Thank you
work.
so much, ma'am.
Chairperson, ma'am. And
Yeah.
Well done,
It was
Divya.
nice program, Jyoti ji. It was nice
Thank
program.
you. Thank you, Bajpayee ji. Meenu ma'am, thank you so much. Thank you. Renu ma'am, thank you for coming. You are still there.
Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Thank you.
ma'am.
Nivedita ma'am, we missed your children. How was your picnic?
Yes, ma'am. They just returned from Rocksport Adventure Camp
Yeah, I
just
came
now.
to know.
So even I mean, it was a wonderful session.
Good, you could
I wish
join
they
in.
could be here.
But
I
the
wanted
recording
to.
is
It was
there,
such a
ma'am.
wonderful.
Recording
Yes,
is there. We will
sure.
send the recording. You can show it to your
Yes.
students. Yes, ma'am.
I was
Thank
still
you so
trying
much.
if they could come back on time, they could, at least attend, but they just returned quite late, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Next time,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Shushmita ma'am, Archana ma'am,
Thank you,
Sakshi
everyone.
ma'am, Gunjan ma'am, Debjani, everyone. Kirti Tripathi is also there. Wow, lovely to see you, Kirti. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was such an enlightening session. Very nice. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very
for
well
coming. Thank you.
organized, Jyoti. It was
Thank
wonderful
you.
session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
God bless
Thank
you.
you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Good night,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night, ma'am.
Good night. Thank you, children. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we can close the meeting.
Yes, I think we can close the
Maksuji,
meeting.
thank you so
And
much.
thank you.